Good morning, Quadcopter 101 here, and today's shout out goes to Dem Tao. He was first to say first in one of my recent videos, and thus wins this shout out, so congratulations. Good morning, Quadcopter 101 here, and I have a neat airplane for you. I'm kind of excited to fly this one here. This is the OMPHobby Sunnysky S720. Now, what is the S720? Well, this is a 718 millimeter wingspan, ready to fly. It's got its own controller already ready to go with the aircraft. Aerobatics trainer. Okay, that's the design that we got here on this aircraft. It's constructed of pretty tough EPP foam. It's a 4-channel aircraft, full 4-channel design, so we got ailerons, and look at the size of these ailerons. They should provide a lot of oomph to give you good rolls. You know, good for making an aerobatic aircraft. This is definitely an aerobatic designed aircraft. So we got throttle, aileron control, we got elevator control, and also rudder control. So a true 4-channel aircraft. On top of that, the motor is a brushless 1406 2500 kV motor. Should give it plenty of power. Propeller here is a Sunnysky. They call it EOLO. That's God of Wind, I believe, in Italian. 5.5-inch high-efficiency propeller. So the propeller should give it plenty of pull to keep the aircraft going. On top of that, the aircraft is also stabilized. So this is actually a beginner's aerobatics trainer. Now, when I say beginners, I probably mean it would probably be better for intermediate pilots who wish to transition into aerobatic flying, you know, to start. This would be a good first aerobatic flyer. I don't know about it being beginners. I'll tell you when we go flying whether I feel comfortable enough to call this a beginner's airplane. But actually, I think this is probably more better for intermediate flyers. But again, it is stabilized, so you can fly this. If you have any problems, you just let go of the sticks and it should automatically right itself. But you can switch to... Let me just show you that real quick. This is the controller, and you can switch between normal stabilized flight, which prevents the aircraft from rolling over or pitching over, or you could turn off that function and go into sport mode so you can do loops and rolls. So that is what's able to do, what this aircraft is able to do. Now, there is also a very innovative design of this aircraft. This is similar to what I recently reviewed was the OMPHobby also Sunnysky T720 powered glider. But this aircraft is also very similar in design in that all its control surfaces are controlled through little control levers. And the aircraft wings, let me see if I can show you that, come off. Sorry about that. But they pop right off for easy, you know, breakdown and transportation. Even the tail comes off this aircraft. The elevators, actually, the horizontal stabilizer, I'm saying, comes off. But what's neat about it is, notice that there's no push rods, there's no control horns. All you got is this lever. It's attached directly to the servo inside the aircraft there. Well, it does have some push rods there that go to that lever. I'm seeing that right now, because the servo is not directly on the other side here. So the servo's installed underneath. The servos are installed underneath here, but they do have push rods, but they are already set and ready to go. And they adjust this control lever. And the way this works, folks, is this control lever would slide inside the wing's aileron. There's a little notch inside the aileron right there that goes over that control lever. So the idea is this provides very clean surfaces, aerodynamic surfaces, that enables the aircraft to fly without... Okay, you don't have that drag from the push rods and control horns on this aircraft. Okay, it's very clean design, very smooth surfaces, so that won't, you know, aggravate drag to the aircraft. Now, a downside of this is, you know, this again is an aerodynamic aircraft, so this thing's going to be, you know, being able to flip and roll and pull a lot of G's. Okay, I noticed in the the T720 that I flew, these sometimes, if you pulled enough G's, can come loose. Okay, the wings, the wing and control surfaces of the aircraft, also the horizontal stabilizer, could potentially pop off in flight if you're pulling too many G's. And the way I got around that, folks, is I would take a piece of cellophane tape and run it up along these corners here to attach the wing surface to the fuselage to give it more strength there so that they won't pull apart in flight. So if you do encounter that problem, consider doing that. In today's flight, I am not going to put that tape on. We're going to see if this actually holds as designed in this particular aircraft as compared to what the T720 would tend to do when you pull enough G's on it. Now, this is powered by a little 2S battery, folks. And this particular battery is a 2S 300 milliampere hour, and it's predicted, or it's advertised that this battery is supposed to give you 20 minutes of flight time. I find that hard to believe, but we'll find out when we go in flying. But notice, this 2S battery is kind of common. Even this one here, this particular battery is not stock. This is from one of my little micro FPV racers, but it does fit into the battery slot in the front here. And I'm considering using this also today if we have enough time to do 2 flights without my hat camera going out, if it is truly a 20-minute flight time. Now, one other thing, let's see, I mentioned the wings come off. Also, the wheels come off, too. They pop out and let me see if I can pop one of these out and show you. They just slide right into the wing, like so, or into the fuselage, like so, and snap in place. So, again, this is fully, you can actually break this down very well for transportation, maybe even in its original box. Its original box is a transportation method, or a way to protect the aircraft while you're going to the flying field. But this is the box that it comes in, the particular T720 box. I'll show you the front end of it. So this would make a nice carrying case for the aircraft, in addition to its being its shipping container. So let's put it there. The top pops off and on. One thing I like about it, it has a nice little handle on the top, lets you know which way to pry this off. But when you slide this in, this little lip on the front here helps hold the battery in place. You put the battery in forward section here. There's a little battery bay there. And then you slide this lip over that, and then you pop it in place. After you plug in the battery. I didn't do that. Okay, let's show you what you get in the box. You get the user manual for it. It is actually a relatively good user manual. The only thing I did not like about it, it did not show propeller installation, how to install the propeller, because the propellers do not come installed. To install this, all you do, though, it's very simple, is take the propeller, slide it over the propeller shaft, put the nose cone over the top of that, and then screw it in. There's a little screw that goes right there to help screw that propeller in there. Other things you get in the package, you get a battery charger to go with that 2S battery, which I've already put in there. This is not the best battery charger in the world, but it will work. And since this is a little 300 milliampere hour, you should even be able to charge it in your laptop's USB port, in addition to using a wall charger to charge it. You do get a spare propeller. You do get a screwdriver to install the propeller, and you do get the controller. Let's go over the controller real quick. The controller has an on-off switch there. Very simple. You got throttle, you got yaw, you got pitch, you got roll. Now notice there is no trim buttons on this. Okay, if this has problems with trim, you need to stabilize the gyros system on board there. And to do that, hold on, I'll show you that in the manual here, if I can find it here real quick. So you put this on a flat level surface like it is right now, plug the battery in, connect it to the controller, and then bring both sticks down and out. And that will set the center of the control surfaces for steady, or for stable flight. Okay, level, stable flight. Let's see, did I cover everything else? Yeah, I covered this switch here about normal and sport mode. Now again, in normal position to the left, this has the stabilization system on, and if you put it to the right, that turns the stabilization system off so that you can do loops and rolls and aerobatics. And if you get into trouble, all you do is switch back like so, and this will quickly and immediately, hopefully, right itself. But there's one other switch that's on this, and this is common, that was on the T720 also. This is the trick button. While you're in stabilize mode, if you hold this button down, the aircraft, or at least the T720, would do a loop. Now I don't know if this will do other, because the instruction manual suggests that there's other tricks it'll do in addition to the loop. But we'll see when we go flying today. But I had to hold this button down when I flew the 720, and it was cool. It actually would do a nice loop, and it would actually do a loop that would be end at the same elevation that it started from, so you could do kind of loops lower to the ground, although I do recommend you give yourself some elevation here to prevent impacting the ground before you do actually press this button. So that is the S720. It actually is a very nice designed aircraft. It looks very nice. It feels very nice, nicely designed aircraft. And again, I'm excited to fly it. So let's take it out in the field and see how it flies. So hope you enjoy this. Good morning, Quadcopter 101. We are out at one of my favorite flying fields, and we are ready to fly the S720. I already have it bound to the controller. So let's get it in the air, folks. Putting it on the ground and checking the control surfaces. Left turn, right ailerons, left rudder, right rudder, down and up pitch. So we are good to go. So this will be its first flight. Hope it'll take off by the end of the field there. Let's find out. Oh, it took right to the air. This thing just takes right to the air. It's actually a beautiful flyer. I didn't think it'd be flying so well. I thought it'd be a super fast flyer, but it's not. Nice and gentle with the stabilization system on. Let's turn to the right. Let's see if it tip stalls. Let's do a hard turn from up there. Oh no, it's very gentle. It hangs in the air quite nicely. Let's bring it down slow, or low and slow. This could be a nice low and slow flyer in stabilized mode, that is. So let's bring it down close to us so you can see it. Coming down, coming down. It's a beautiful flyer. Wonderful. I thought it would be hard to fly aircraft, but no, this one's easy, especially in stabilized mode. Let's go up a bit higher and try that stunt mode. Give me the throttle. Stunt. Does a roll. Coming. Okay, slow it down. If you go too fast, this thing becomes wonky. I just noticed that. But if you slow it down, it's nice, gentle flyer. Let's go up a bit higher and try those stunts again, the stunt button again. Going up a bit higher. Giving it speed. It does a roll. Cutting back on the throttle. It porpoises a bit when you go into high speed, so be careful, folks. In high speed, the gyro system porpoises. So let's bring it down low. Now I got 2 batteries today, folks. I want to try flying this first battery fully in stabilized mode, and then I'm going to put in a FPV racer, micro racer battery. Right now I'm just showing how well of a park flyer it is, in other words. Nice and gentle, easy to fly around at lower speeds. Okay, put it in high speed, it porpoises. Here, let's go higher speed. See? It porpoises in high speed, so be careful. It seems to fly best at low speed. Okay, I hardly got any throttle on it at all right now. Let's bring it around and just do a turn around us, showing it up close. Porpoising it. Reducing that throttle. I got to be careful with that throttle. You go to high speed and it goes whoop, whoop, whoop. Low speed, no. It's nice and gentle. With nice sharp turns. You can do nice sharp turns. Doesn't seem to do tip stalls. Maybe because of those huge ailerons on this thing. Prevent it, or keeps control on the wing surface. Those huge ailerons come into play there. Look at that turning. I'm trying my best to try to tip stall it. It doesn't want to do it. I don't think you can. I was just flying one the other day, a different aircraft with gyro stabilization, and that thing would always tip stall if you made a turn. You try to do this, forget it. It just wasn't possible to fly it like that. This one you can, look at that. It's actually a nice flyer. Let's do a touch and go. The wind's on my left side, so let's go over here. Let's see if I can actually do a touch and go here. Coming around. I don't want to hit those trees. Cutting the throttle. Let's see it glide. Throttle was off. This is it gliding it. Oh, it's a wonderful. Well, let's turn it around. take it back to the air. Let's do that again. Did you see that? How that glided in for a landing. It's a wonderful plane, folks. Gliding, gliding, gliding. This is a wonderful plane. I like this one. OMPHobby did it again. I like the T720. I like this thing too. I like this thing. Okay, cutting back on the throttle again. You give it a lot of throttle and this thing porpoises, so be careful. You don't need a lot of throttle to stay in the air. Well, now it does. I might need to, I'll tell you what. Let me try something here. Okay, is that flying properly? Yeah, it's flying properly now. Well, let's come around and land one more time. Do another landing. Bouncing on that landing there, I think might have affected his gyros just a little bit. Okay, flat level surface would be right about there. I'm going to adjust its gyros real quick and show you how to do that. Put it on a flat level surface, which is, I'm assuming that's good enough. And then bring both sticks down and out and hold them there. And that calibrates the gyro for level flight. Let's go back to the air again. Cut back on the throttle. We don't need that much throttle again. Once you're in the air, cut back on the throttle. Let's go back up higher again and do some more stunts. See if I can do stunts on my own. Go into stunt mode. Full throttle. Whoa, coming out of stunt mode there. Right in the sun. I didn't want to do that. Let's try it again. Turn in stunt mode. Loop it. Loop it. On its tail. Look at that, folks. Helicopter mode. Okay, cutting back. More throttle. And a loop. And a roll. It's a good flyer, actually. Going back to normal. I don't want to go in the sun. Okay, cutting back on the throttle. This is a wonderful plane, folks. Very gentle. Even though it's a stunt plane. Going down and up. Up. The motor's getting weak. That battery's getting weak, folks. So we got to call it quits here shortly. I got that other battery again. So cutting back on the throttle a bit. Bringing it down lower. By the way, I'm keeping this one. I like it. I've been getting some neat airplanes lately, and this is another one of the neat ones. OMPHobby makes some good stuff, I gotta say. The Sunnysky aircraft, they are nice. Porpoised a bit. Okay, but we'll run this battery down until it's depleted, or until it feels real sluggish. Then we'll throw in that FPV Racer battery that I got and see how that works. That one's 350 milliampere hour, just a little bit heavier too. Just a little bit heavier. But it fits in that compartment nicely for this aircraft. I'm trying to stall this thing. You can't. Let's go up higher, and I'm going to try to do it right about there and then stall it, see what happens. Nothing. It just goes into glide. It just glides. So yeah, those huge ailerons come into play here with the stabilization system to keep this level. It does a real good job. Does a real good job. Enable you to turn like that without tip stalling. Okay, starting to get weak. Well, wait a minute. No, maybe not. Maybe I got some more power. Going up higher again. Try to loop it. Yeah, coming out of it. Yeah, the battery's just getting too weak to do loops. But it's still good enough for level flight. Well, you say this thing got 20 minutes flight time? I don't know about that. With that little battery. It's only a 300 milliampere hour 2S battery. So I can't see it stayed up for 20 minutes. It's a dang good flyer. This could be an indoor flyer, I'm thinking too, folks. Easily. Easily. You know, gym flyer. Okay, that battery's now getting weak. We're calling it quits there. So that's the first flight with the 300 milliampere hour battery. Let me pop in that FPV battery, FPV racer battery, and see how it works then. So hold on, folks. Okay, I got this little FPV racer battery. Yeah, it's 350 milliampere hour. And I had it charged up before we came out of here. Plugging it in red to red. And black to black. Red JST connector, by the way, folks, if I didn't mention that already, on this battery. And pushing it into the compartment. I'm going to take off from the dirt this time, since this seems to be able to do such easily. Buttoning it up. Find a roll of flat level surface. That's another thing, folks. Like I said, this can take off from dirt. Normally I can't do this with my toy aircraft. This one here is a bit above toy level, I would say. Toy grade. This is better than toy grade. So let's go into the air. This can take off dirt. Cutting back on that throttle. Let's take it up higher. Get some speed on it. Now you make a hard turn and it slows down. You got to get some speed on it again. But it's going up nicely. Let's get it up higher. Go over there. Turn. Turn. Go into stunt mode. Stunt button. Now when it does those rolls, it dives to the deck. Going up higher. Speed. Now I'm manual mode. Manual loop. Roll. Roll. Coming back over. Roll. And back to stabilized. So when you go up there, if you're a beginner like me, give yourself some altitude up there. Stunt mode. And cutting back on the throttle. So yeah, I can do stunts. This plane can really do stunts. And coming out. But again, let's run it down. See, I tried to spin it there, and even then it was able to pull out easily. I mean, this stabilization system with the huge ailerons works real well. Let's do another touch and go. I like touch and goes. Let's go this way. There's hardly any wind today. Cutting the throttle. This thing just glides like this. I gotta give it throttle again because this thing glides too well. It glides better than the glider version, the S720. And go back in the air. It glides better than the T720. I don't know why, but it does. Throttle off. Throttle on. Come back here. Throttle off. Pull it up, pull it up. Oh, that wasn't a good one. That was not a good one. Sorry about that. Let's go back into the air again. Let's try it again. I like this airplane. This is a great 4-channel trainer. I mean, it is a really good 4-channel trainer. There we go. That's better. There again. Really good 4-channel trainer. And a good beginner's plane too. Just leave it in, like I said, stabilized mode. It is really hard to stall it. Now, I haven't flown this on a windy day, so I don't know how well this is going to perform in the wind. But I'm assuming that stabilization system would kick in. Look at that.
full stick. Full stick. Let's cut back the throttle, see if we can stall it. Less throttle. No, I don't want to. Let me go back up again. Let's throw rudder in there with it. Yeah. You throw rudder in, you can't stall it or bring it in. And there goes the wing here. My first crash with it. Try my best to stall it, and I did. I was able to do it throwing the rudder in. So aileron and rudder, yeah, this will stall. Can't, but that's, I don't know if it's stalling actually. It's actually, yeah, it's actually throwing, or giving it a moment arm that throws the motor down, but let's put it back in again. Now again, these motors, or these wings, are meant to do this, folks. And that is to prevent damage to the aircraft in a crash. If they pop off like this, that prevents damage to these control surfaces. Now, when you pop them back on again, you got to make sure that they're centered over the control horns there, or the control levers, if you will. This one is not. So, you hold it like so. Centered. And then you push it until you hear a click. Like that. And we're good to go again. Let's go back and take to the air again. We're checking my propeller. I didn't damage that, did I? No. Looks good. And just calibrating the gyros one more time just to make sure. And going back to the air. Nice airplane. So people are probably talking about this already. I'm late to the table with this one. Sorry about that, folks. Normally I get them early. This one I got a little bit late. Others have been reviewing this. I'm assuming they like this also, because this is a good plane. Good beginner's plane, actually. Now people are going to want to throw in bigger batteries into this. I don't recommend that. You throw weight onto this aircraft, that's going to affect its performance. It's not going to be a gentle flyer like this with added weight. Keep that in mind when you want to throw a 1000 milliampere hour or 850 milliampere hour on this. That's going to make it fly faster and make the crashes more dangerous to the aircraft. Love it. Great plane. Great indoor plane, I'm assuming, too. For gym flyer or park flyer. It's a great park flyer because I'm in a park right now. Turns on a dime. Look at that. Pulling the stick back at the same time. Aileron and stick. Or elevator. Aileron and elevator is what I'm doing, folks. I'm not using any rudder really with this. I should be, but you don't need much rudder with this. It's a nice plane. Let's go back up high again. Do a couple more stunts while we got power. Coming around again, we'll come back toward us. And I'll hit that stunt button. Get a little more speed on it. Don't want to do a stunt. So I'm assuming, let me go into manual mode. I'll make it do a stunt. Ah, there we go. A manual loop. Now the T720 does loops when you press that stunt button. This one does aileron rolls. And I don't want to do it right now because I guess that 350 milliampere hour battery might be confusing it. Might think it's too low power. Let's see it glide in for a landing. Good golly, this thing glides. Look at that. Look at that glide. Cutting back, glide. Coming around, glide. Whoa, bumpity bump. Let's turn it right there. Back into the air. Really a good park flyer, folks. We're an indoor flyer, like I said. This is good. I like this plane. Good beginner's plane. They've been making real good beginner's plane lately. I've been seeing a lot come out lately. Since they throw these stabilization system in just about all of them. Although it works better in some and worse in others. This one works real well with that huge aileron on it. Glides like unbelievably well. Glides as good as a sailplane. You could probably go slope soaring with this thing. Make a good slope soarer. It likes that 350 milliamp hour battery, except the stunt machine don't, or the stunt button doesn't, for some reason. Yep, stunt button's not working with that 350. So if you want to use 300, that's when it'll work. So let's go this way again. I'm going to turn it, get some speed, and then go back into manual mode and just do some more stunts. Stunt mode. And cutting back throttle and coming back over here. Gliding this time. Full glide, full glide. Let's see if it'll make it from way over there. Will it make it? Oh, that was kind of hard. And I broke the prop. Well, I got a spare. That's going to have to be it, folks. Keep in mind, you probably want to get some spare props. And good thing it comes with a spare. And he's popped out 2 on that one. Well, that was a little bit of a hard landing, folks. So, hope you enjoyed this flight. This is the S720 again from OMPHobby Sunnysky, also, I guess. Really good flyer. I like it. Really nice, gentle flyer. So, hope you enjoyed this flight. This is Quadcopter 101 with a broken prop, and I got a spare. Quadcopter 101, signing out.
Hi, Quadcopter 101 here again. Hey, if you want to get your own shout out in one of my future videos, make sure you subscribe to my channel. It's real simple. Just go to my channel page and click on that subscribe. And also make sure to click that bell button right next to the subscribe button. That way you get notified when I release a brand new video immediately and give you a chance to get that first shout out. So give it a try, folks.